Hi there. Hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Hi, am I audible to you? Hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Hi, am I audible to you? Hello, am I audible? Hi, Chaitali. Okay, thank you, Chaitali, for letting me know that I'm audible. I'm really conscious whether you can hear me or not. So, thank you so much for joining on time. Is there a lag? Are you able to see me like the way I'm talking, or there's a difference? So I think before, I mean, it's 6 o'clock yet. We can begin with, we could just introduce yourself. It'll be great. We can chat. Hi. Hi, Mr. Surendra. Um, I think you can all just introduce yourself in the chat box. So I'd like to know who all have joined. I know we have 7 minutes to go, but I thought that let me see if, if everything is fine. So we'll wait for some more time. Thank you, Chetali. I'm so glad. So I'll wait for another, I think, 8 minutes. I think we should begin at 6 o'clock because this session is scheduled for 6 o'clock. And yeah, so I think the participants, the audience who have joined, they can just say hello to me. Meanwhile, as as we wait for another 6 minutes. So, Mr. Surendra, where are you from? Would you like to just, Miss Surendra, where are you from? Would you like to just share? Hi, Chitali, you're an educator at Vidya Valley School. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Surendra, I'm good. Where are you from? If you could tell me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, if you could write in the comment box, what are you excited for? What are you looking at in today's session? What is that you'd like to know? Okay, you're from Jaipur. All right. Thank you so much for joining on time. Um, so, I think we'll just wait for some more time. So, yeah. I've joined so that I'm able to just test and everything is there at place. Hi, Vishwas. So, where are you from? I see that a lot of people have joined already. We have 5 minutes to go, so I think we'll wait for more people. So please stay tuned, stay there before we start. Yeah. So, guys, we have 4 more minutes to go. Please stay tuned, and I think we should wait, and we can just continue with our chit chat. Um, yeah. So, Mr. Surendra, would you like to tell where are you from and what are you looking at this session? Chetali, would you like to write what are you looking, what is your expectation from the session? What do you want to learn today? So, guys, stay tuned. I think we'll wait for some more time, like another, say, 5 minutes before we formally begin the session because, yeah, it's scheduled for 6. Yeah. So if we have more people who are joining in, please say hello so that I know that you've joined. And you can also write where are you from and what are your expectations from this session? What are you looking at today? Chetali says that you're looking forward to learn how to make my teaching more interactive and student centered. I hope, Chetali, you're able to get some insights on that. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So I think we have more 2 minutes to go. Yeah, sorry for that. So, guys, stay tuned for some more time before we formally begin. I appreciate and I thank you for joining before time. Yeah, we'll wait for some more time. So, as there are more participants who are joining, please keep saying hello to me so that I know that you've joined. And yeah. So Vishwas is saying to give you some practical tips. Sure, I think that in this session you should be getting some takeaways for your classes, and I'm hopeful that you will end up learning and contributing quite a bit. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So it's 6 o'clock, and I think formally I should begin my session now. So, uh, the beginning, I'd like to thank everyone who has joined the session, and let me start sharing my screen now. So, yeah, all right. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for the session. And as the name suggests, it's on the topic we need to explore. We're exploring inquiry cycle as our learners collaborate using online tools. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Megha, and I am a developmental psychologist with some experience in teacher training and program implementation across K 12 schools. I work as a senior academic consultant with education initiatives that offers assessment and learning solutions to ensure that students everywhere are learning with understanding. Um, we also have a consulting initiative where we are trying and looking forward to work with schools for in their transformation journey, and to bring student centric learning in every classroom. My professional goal is to create an environment where students take charge of their learning and they become deep thinkers. So that's all about me. And I think we have some more people who has joined. Hi Komati, thank you so much for joining. And I think I'll move ahead. Yeah. So today I'm going to present a kind of a demo session, a short lesson where I have consciously tried and integrated various online tools, various teaching pedagogies, and try to bring it as together with you. As we go through the lesson, I'd like you to look at how we have created opportunities for students to think critically. Okay, and here I begin. You can see this. This is a Google Jamboard. Okay, I started my lesson using a Google Jamboard, where this picture is a provocation for the students. Provocation could be anything. So when we start our inquiry cycle, we use a provocation. It could be anything. It could be an image. It could be a story, and it helps in visualization, and also helps the learners to connect with their schema, something that they already know. So I mean, I kind of gave this direct to my students, and the question was, what questions come through your mind when you look at this picture? And this is a Google Jamboard where children can come together, they can collaborate even in an online setup. So whatever are their responses, they'll be able to see on this collaborative Jamboard. In the next slide, I'd like to show you what kind of responses they came forward. And this is for elementary grade learners. So uh, and you can make out the topic is nutrition here. So I'd like you to focus on the questions that they came up with, and I'm just sharing some of them. One of them is, are these food items healthy? Why are they lying like this? Can you make drinks using these juices? What dishes can be made from these food items? Can I have the food I like? And one question I really found interesting, and this was like, can I have orange instead of a papaya? They have same color, so both belong to same food group. Now, if you see that this simple image actually is an open-ended um, kind of a provocation for our students, where they're thinking and they're coming up with different questions, and it is a starting for my start of my inquiry cycle. After this, since we have given that start, it was time when I wanted to give them a hands-on experience, and it says that time to get into hands-on learning, and it's cooking without fire. So it was like, I wanted them to come and get into cooking, and I just kind of gave them some options, and one of them was making a sandwich, another was making a milkshake, and the third one, which is quite interesting, was make whatever you like. Make sure it is cooking without fire, so no fire. Now, if you see the examples, I wanted to keep it very. I wanted to keep it very simple. Okay, I didn't want them to. I didn't. It's an online setup. I didn't want parents to be bothered. And if you see that, the options that I gave them are simple, but you'll be astonished that what students chose to make, and even that amazed me as well. So now I'll show you what students came up, and they said that, cooking without fire, but can we go with baking? I was like, all right, you can. So you can see that these are some cookies, pizza, Christmas cake, and some more cookies. So, I mean, this gave me an insight that as teachers, we want to give them simpler tasks. Sometimes we feel, oh, they can't do so much. But when we keep it open ended, we cannot estimate their limits. So that was one reflection that I could think of through this task. Now, there are two, three options when we do this hands-on cooking during the online class. Now, this is a science class, and our topic is nutrition. There are a couple of ways that you could do. So, one of the way that I suggest is you could plan a 1.5 hour workshop. I mean, you can have that slot with you separately. Another way that you could do is you could in your 40 minutes class, you can start cooking without fire. You can tell them beforehand that they need to assemble all the material, so after class they can continue with their cooking. I mean, I do not recommend that you should give it as a home assignment, because I don't want it to be a burden on the parents to do something. I want children to do. So when they are in your online class, you see them setting up the table, getting into doing different things, and even children can see each other. So that's a different experience altogether. Yeah. So, hi Aditi, hi Priya. Thanks for joining in. All right. So I'll continue. Yeah. So these are different ways we can manage experiential learning during even in an online setup. All right. Now here, after this, we move further, and this is something that we ask the children to draw the food item that they have made and give it a unique name. And you can see this child who has made a pizza, and he came up with this a unique name, which is like it's an olive burst pizza. Now, we've heard about cheese burst pizza from Domino's, but there's an olive burst pizza. So, I mean, it's something different. And, while they were discussing the original names for their food items, I could hear some evidence where they were thinking, okay, I'd like to, launch my food, and this should be the name and why. And there was a lot of critical thinking and a lot of reflection and a lot of talk going on during that little interaction. And I think this interaction is kind of a window to deep thinking. And as a teacher, I like to hear what they are thinking, and that's my aim here. Moving forward, now this is something where I try to make thinking visible. Now, what is this? There's something called as visible thinking routines. I'm sure as educators you must have heard about it. They are simple structures covered, which they are developed by Harvard. It's a part of Project Zero, and they came up with simple, in a lot of simple structures that can be used in everyday teaching to make thinking visible. Now, when we say thinking visible, we think in our minds, but they say that there has to be a way where we can bring our thinking on paper, because process of thinking is more important than the actual outcome or the right answer or the wrong answer that we have. So here I chose to use this thinking routine, which is one of my favorite, and it is see, think, wonder. Now, how I used it, I'd like to just show you. So after they made everything, I gave them this routine, see, think, wonder, and you can see that children came up with what they see in their dish, what they're thinking about it, and what do they wonder. Now, for me, I'd like to discuss their wonder questions, and one of them was, is my pizza healthy? Is home cooked pizza healthier than outside pizza? Can I have it every day? Now, if you look at these questions, like they're really thinking about nutrition, they're reflecting. So a lot of evidence of critical thinking is visible here in this lesson, and that's the aim. And if you see it, it's very simple to execute even in an online setup. So this is how I just integrated it, and sorry, I'm sure this would really help them to think critically. Moving further, now now it's time for me that I want to introduce the concept of nutrition to them. I want them to learn about nutrition. Now, as a facilitator, I don't want to sit and teach them about different kinds of nutrients. I don't want to do that. I want to think about some innovative way. So what I do, I found out this interesting song from Vocabulary, and I would want you to hear that song. Okay, so I'll just play it in a while. And while you hear this song, try to have fun. I mean, learning is secondary, but it's primary to have fun when you hear. So give me a minute. I'll just show you that song. Yeah. Okay, so this is the song, and yeah, I'll just play this song. Let me know if you're able to hear the audio.
No, they're saying you should eat this, don't eat that. Probably telling you only eat veggies. Carbs will make you heavy, telling you to stay away from fat. But really, they're not all bad. Good nutrition is about balance. Yeah, we got water, fat, protein, carbs, vitamins, and minerals. You got water, fat, protein, carbs, vitamins, and minerals. Yeah. Six nutrients, these nutrients, they provide me with the energy to live. Six nutrients, these nutrients, they provide me with the energy to live. See, good nutrition's about balance. Without it, getting energy would be a challenge. There's three main nutrients that you need a lot of. So when you hit the grocery, make sure that you stock up. Check labels when you're picking out your products, and be sure that the names of these macronutrients pop up. First one, carbohydrates. For short, people call them carbs. They're fuel. They give your body good energy. They do for you and me what gas does for cars. You'll find them in rice, quinoa, and wheat, and fruits and vegetables, even sugar and sweets. Next up, we got proteins. You can find them in eggs, beans, and poultry. These ones are important in helping your hair grow, your skin, your muscles, and each nail on your toes. Finally, we'll talk fats, the good and the bad, but we need them, so let's hear out the facts. You got meats, dairy, avocado, and nuts. They give us more energy than any other stuff. Hey, six nutrients, these nutrients, they provide me with the energy to live. Be without these nutrients, I wouldn't risk. There's three more to discuss out of the vital six. We got water, minerals, and vitamins. Let me tell you how they help you thrive and live. Vitamins are compounds that keep you healthy. And carrots and pumpkins are vitamin A. It protects your eyesight so you can see. And what fights sickness? That's vitamin C. The next is a compound, we call it a mineral. They're so small that they're almost invisible. Calcium, it'll strengthen your bones. And iron helps your muscles grow big and strong. You can find it in broccoli, beef, beans, and fish. Popeye ate iron, all packed in his spinach. It's good to eat all nutrients, none are off limits. And the 6-1 doubles is something you swim in. You guessed it, it's water, it's H2O. And you can find water like anywhere you go. We have to drink a lot of it for our survival. When it comes to drinking liquids, water's on rock. We got water, fat, protein, carbs, vitamins, and minerals. You got water, fat, protein, carbs, vitamins, and minerals. Yeah. I just want you guys to remember that all foods are okay sometimes. Because the key to being really healthy, like anything in life, is balance. Six nutrients, these nutrients, they provide me with the energy to live. Six nutrients, these nutrients, they provide me with the energy to live.
So I hope it helped you to really revise your concepts of nutrition. So this is an interesting tool called Flocabulary. I'd like to just show you one more thing out here so you can see that. Right.
Rice, quinoa, wheat.
Okay, so you can see here there's an option called Discuss. Now this is a tool called Flocabulary. If I open this Discuss options, you can see this yellow halls in between. Now in the yellow halls, what will happen? The song will play, but the moment this yellow hall comes, it will stop on its own. And a question, it will be a question for your group, which is like, so the first question is, can you think of any other food that have a lot of protein? Now, again, one is that they hear song and they enjoy. Now, the second phase is you play the song again in the discussion mode where the song will stop at equal intervals and there'll be a lot of questions asked to children for discussion. Now, these are higher order thinking questions and will give opportunity for a lot of critical thinking again. So you can see that this is one question, another question. If you see, I'm just hopping through the questions.
And what fights sickness? So that's vitamin C. And the 6-1.
Okay, you can see that. Just a second. Okay. So these are a couple of questions. There are 5-6 questions that you'll get to see. And I'll just come back to my presentation. Give me a minute. So if you have used Flocabulary before, or you would like to use it in your class, please, you can keep sharing with me in the comment box. Meanwhile, I'll go back to my presentation again. Yeah. So, here I am. So you could see this was a song that I played, and this was, my main course. I did not do any explanation. This song was an explanation for me. Interesting insight is when you hear your students humming this song, and so these are 4 questions that were a part of the group discussion, and one was that in your own words explain how carbohydrates are like fuel for humans. Can you think of any other food that has a lot of protein? What is similar between carrots and pumpkins? What other foods might have a lot of vitamin A? And why do you think it is important to drink water? Now, the answers to these questions were already discussed through the song that they heard, and it is coming in between. There's an opportunity for the teacher to pause the video and have an enriching discussion. And if you see your entire 40 minutes, the entire class would go while discussing nutrition, but through a song. And this takes away your role of explaining a concept. Your explanation bit is done where children have information and they're reflecting at equal intervals. So this is something I found to be interesting. And now I think we all talk about application to real world and how we apply concepts. So here what I did was, gave a task to the children that you write the ingredients of the dish that you made. Now they have understood, they've learned about nutrition through vocabulary song. Now are they able to apply this knowledge? That is something I'm sure a teacher would want to know. So the task was, they made something at the beginning of the task as a part of their hands-on learning, and now they're supposed to reflect like what they made, write down, and just remember what are the ingredients that they use in making that particular dish, and what are the nutrients that the food may have. One was that, and the second part of the same question was like an extension. Think of some ingredients that you may add to your dish to make it healthier. So now they know about 6 nutrients. Can they think of a food that they could add to make it healthier? So that was a follow-up question, and I'd like to show what students came up with. So you can see that the child has written about the nutrients. I mean, first he is kind of broken down what nutrients, what food items were used in making a pizza. He has mentioned it in the worksheet, and then to the right side, you can see that he has written the nutrients that are there in food item. Now, if the child forgets, so he doesn't remember the nutrient of a particular food item, he's free to go back and hear the song again. As a teacher, you can even provide him the lyrics of the song, which is actually your main reading comprehension, the main content of the whole inquiry cycle. So you can always do that, because we always feel that today in the world of Google, information is there, but the child should be able to apply that information. He should be able to use that information. So that's something very important. You can see that in the response, that child has thought, okay, if I add chicken or tofu, I could add protein, because he has analyzed that in his pizza, when he's made, I mean, the various nutrients, but protein is missing. So he says, okay, I can use chicken and tofu to add protein. So this is something, a really rich insight for a teacher to see how children are thinking. They're analyzing, they're evaluating it every step, and they are making their own decisions and taking that step. Okay, how I can make it nutritious. So I think that's wonderful if children are able to apply, and it's an insight to the teacher that, okay, I'm following the right path. Okay, if I'm doing this way, I'm using a song to explain, and the child is able to apply and able to answer and present and share. That means something is going right. I'm doing the right thing. So that's interesting here. Now, I'm sorry. Another important skill that we look for developing in children is being communicative. Being able to communicate is a really an important thing. And so now, how do we make sure that our children are communicative? Okay, so we need to give that opportunity to our children to reflect, to present their understanding, using their communication skills. So another tool that I like to bring forth is called Flipgrid. And you can see the prompt. The prompt is, persuade your friend on importance of healthy eating, making them aware of the benefits. Now, first, let me tell you what is a Flipgrid. Now, this is a normal thing, like a common thing that a child has to reflect on the importance of healthy eating. Now, a teacher might say, we can just ask children to say about this topic in the class. But imagine you have a class of 30 students or 40 students, or whatever number may be, right? How will you make sure that every child is able to present his idea? It's practically not possible. Either, I mean, very few children will get opportunity to present their idea. So how as a teacher in the online method I make sure that all my entire class is engaged at the same time. So I found this interesting tool which is called Flipgrid. You can go on this tool. I'll show you how and record your video. So if I have a class in the class of 40 minutes, I can give first 10 minutes to my children that okay, I'm sorry, go and record your video. Use this link and record this video. Now, children go and follow the link and record their video of a minute on healthy eating. Now, as a teacher, I can also pair them up. So, for example, once every child is through with recording their video, I can pair children. So, I can ask child A to hear the video of child B and comment on this on the video, give feedback, and the child B will actually listen to the video of child A and give feedback. Now what is happening? Peer learning is happening because children have different perspectives. What they learned out of everything is absolutely different. They came up with different dishes. They came up, I mean, the nutrients were different, and everyone had their own thought process. It's a complete open ended lesson. So what happened? They hear each other's opinion, viewpoints, and they give feedback. Giving feedback is also an important skill that our children need to learn. So that's why I personally recommend this tool for our teachers to use. So they like first 10 minutes they record, next 10 minutes they give feedback to each other, and next 10 minutes it could be a common group discussions where teacher can interact. Another thing is that all the videos are available to the teacher. Teacher can listen to the videos and actually use it as a way of assessment. Now, it's not necessary that you always have a pen and paper assessment or a question paper or a traditional method of assessment. These videos are really helpful, and later on after the class, teacher can listen to the videos and really understand what children have learned till now. Where are we so far in this journey? And we call it formative assessment, which is assessment for learning. And based on these videos, based on children's reflection, teacher can actually make out how to plan her next set of tasks, right? Also, so I think I've shared enough. I'd like to now show you a reflection of a child in a Flipgrid video. So give me a minute and I'll share the Flipgrid video of the child. Okay, here you go. All right, so another thing, you can see that it's all blurred. So you have the option of blurring your image. It's an option. So if you don't want to show a child's video, or the parents don't want child's video to be recorded anyway, you can always use this blurring option so that the child's face won't be visible. So I think it's a useful feature to be used. Yeah, so I'll play. I think you should hear just a second. I think I did not share audio. So let me just share it again. Just a second. I forgot to share the audio of that video. Just a second. Yeah, now I've shared the audio. Now you'll be able to hear it. Here it go. It's a 1-minute video. I think I really want you to hear what the child has said and how is he reflecting on the concept of healthy eating.
Hello, so I'm going to be telling you about how healthy eating is good for you and the nutrients. So I'm sure you've heard a lot of stuff from parents telling that fat is bad and you should eat more veggies and fruits, don't eat bread and stuff. That's actually wrong. Well, you see, all of the fruits or anything is good. Okay? So you can eat fats, but it should be balanced. So you should eat carbs, protein, dairy, vegetables, fruits, vitamins, minerals, stuff like that. But you shouldn't eat too much of it. And also, healthy eating is very good, and it's very important to keep a balanced diet. You should healthy eat if you want to grow fit, and otherwise you'll get diseases and more stuff. Yeah, bye.
So that's about like Flipgrid, and you can see that you get a lot of insight when you hear their responses and when they give feedback to each other. I think that's really says a lot about what they have learned so far. Another interesting thing about this is that you have not given time to prepare. You've not given as a child to prepare anything. It's an impromptu kind of a task, and you're giving him, and they have to think on the spot and answer. So it's not that they have learned 5 lines about this topic and then they are speaking about it. Not at all. I mean, it's coming from what they have learned, and it's their own. They're sharing it in their own words, which is something which is meaningful. Yeah. Moving further, now this is the end of the lesson. This is the end of the lesson. I didn't want to teach you any pedagogy, but I want to show you this short lesson and how we've used. Now I'd like you to reflect on the tools and pedagogies that were applied in this lesson. So I'll take a little pause, and I want you to write in the comment box that which are the tools and pedagogies that you noticed were used in this lesson. I'd like you to, share your response in the comment box. I know, Chaitali, you are a teacher and you've used visible thinking a lot in your lessons. So could you please write? So I've used a lot of strategies. I would encourage everybody to write what are the tools that you notice were used in this lesson. Before I move further, I have a little more for you all. And I'm looking at the chat box and I'm looking forward for you to write something. Yeah. Okay, so I'll continue. Let me tell you which are the tools that I've used. And some of the online tools that I've used here is Google Jamboard. I use it very often with my students. Another is Vocabulary and Flipgrid. Now, coming to the pedagogy, for pedagogy, I've used visible thinking routines, experiential learning where children got into hands-on and they made their own dishes. There is Bloom's taxonomy, a lot of higher order thinking skills in the form of questioning. Inquiry-based learning forms the base of the whole lesson. There's a lot of multiple intelligence. So we hear about multiple intelligence, but you see that here I've incorporated art as children drew. There's music, and they listen to nutrition as a song, and there was a lot of there were culinary skills as well. And not forgetting about questioning. Questioning, I think, is a key to every lesson. We want our children to be thinkers and question everything. Yeah. And one of the drawback of giving this kind of an approach is children start questioning anything and everything. So that is something we have to be prepared for. Now, another important thing that I'd like to, kind of summarize my lesson with something that who is a thinker, who is a thinker? Thinker is someone who is able to apply thinking skills. He's able to make local and global connections. He's able to justify his thinking and solve problems creatively. We don't want them to be rote learners. We don't want them to gain not just knowledge. We want them to be able to think critically and apply knowledge. And what are thinking skills? So some of the thinking skills are, one is metacognitive thinking, where children think about their own thinking. There are structures, there are processes where children are made to think about their thinking, reflecting, comprehending, analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing what they have learned. So this is like all our lessons. I mean, this is kind of, you can say that this is a guiding light for the teachers today, that we need to plan our lessons so that we focus on thinking skills. I think that's really important. Okay, now I would like you to take, maybe not now, I'm sharing this link in the chat box for all of you. I want you to share your feedback using Flipgrid as a tool. I've shared this link. So I'll just tell you what you're supposed to do. Maybe you can do that later and not now. You have to click on the link that I've shared in the chat box. You have to click on this Flipgrid link that I've shared in the chat box. And once you click on this link, just log in as a guest. And this is the password, and this is case sensitive. It is capital GEG and then the small letters GEG APAC @6. So use this password, and you can record your video where I want you to, tell me which tool would you like to implement in your classroom, and what is your approach to developing thinking skills. So I would really love to hear from you. So maybe not now, but after the session, take the day or maybe tomorrow morning, try and take out some time to give me your feedback. And in this process, you would also learn how to use Flipgrid. I think that will be a great opportunity. for us. I think I'm through with the session and I'm open to question and answers now. And I'll be happy to have, I can take a few of the um, questions. So I'm open. So would you like to ask anything? Yeah, so you can put your questions in the comment box. Yeah. You can put your questions, and also you can yeah, I can see some questions. Mel is asking, Megha, you linked a Flipgrid at the start. um, should we able to access that? Yes, Mel, you can access Flipgrid. I've shared a link over here, as you can see in the comment section. If you want, I can share it again. And this is the link of Flipgrid. Now, when you click on this link, you have to log in as a guest and you have to use this password that's written here, which is capital G, then small letters EG APAC at the rate of 6. You'll be able to access the Flipgrid if you click on this link, and this will be accessible to you tomorrow as well. Yeah. So I hope that I've answered your question, Mel. So Chetali says she'd like to use Flipgrid and vocabulary. All right, I'll be glad, Chetali. That's interesting. Any more questions? Okay, can it be used for math? Which topics? So Chetali, these are thinking skills. We can certainly use a lot of skills for math. So in math, if I have to plan any lesson, I'd like to integrate something where children can work hands on. So for example, if I have to teach measurement, I'd like my children to get into an airplane race. So they make an airplane, like three airplanes, and they actually blow it and they throw it, right? When they throw it, airplanes, I can ask them to measure the distance for each airplane. So that's my provocation. That's how I want to start that curiosity in them. So they measure the distance. Now every child, when they as they measure the distance, the distance will be different. So that's a starting point. And then I can ask them, okay, if the distance is in centimeter, now you convert it into meters, and so on. As far as vocabulary is concerned, yeah, it has videos for almost all the topics. And for Flipgrid, children can reflect on what they have learned and how will they apply a concept in the real life. For example, it's measurement in math. We can ask that, okay, where do you see evidence of measurement? Where do you use it? Can you share at least three examples from your real life? A child may come up that when I'm going somewhere, I can see kilometers and meters. When I'm driving down somewhere, it helps me to tell distance when I'm going anywhere. I see it in GPS all the time. So this is how we are like linking it, to the real life. The real world application is something which is really important, and that is what makes it. We can use our education. That's how we help them in application. So that's the thing. Um, yeah, the Mel says that she has used it in her class and for teaching math as well. So I think uh, definitely it's doable. Suban asked that, what's your favorite pedagogy for group interaction? Okay, that's an interesting question. For group interaction, I think we sometimes use some cards, and they have to like raise hands if they have to speak, especially in the online setup. So for group interaction, there could be a critical thinking, an open-ended question, which could spark a lot of discussion, or something that the children are interested in, in contributing. It could be as good as your life in COVID, like really, your life in COVID, and then they know, because they are getting affected. They cannot go to schools. They sometimes, I mean, now I think they've started going to play, but earlier they were just locked inside their rooms. They cannot, I mean, their vacation was inside the room, inside their house. So I think such topics which really are related to them would be an ideal for a group interaction if it's a standalone thing. And yeah, you can just give them certain strategies to know that they need their turn to contribute. That those, I think that should be helpful. Yeah. So I think Mel says that for remote learning, students can go around their house to find material or create something to represent the concept being taught. Absolutely. I think that's something which we must use, and it really helps. Thank you, Mel, for sharing that. Yeah, do we have more questions? I think we've come to closure of the session. So with this, I'd like to thank everybody to for coming in and participating in the sessions, for commenting. I think it was lovely to have you over, and I just loved interacting with you. I hope you found this lesson interesting, and there will be something which you can take back and use it in your classrooms. Um, okay, bye for now. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Okay, welcome, Aditi.